What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes.
I think it got to right now because the money gone. So the money's really gone.
In a stunning development, the FBI has reportedly uncovered what's being labeled a $420 million financial scandal involving Floyd "Money" Mayweather. During a high-profile raid on his Las Vegas estate, authorities found alarming evidence pointing to financial fraud, dubious investment ventures, and international money transfers. The shocking nature of the discovery sent shockwaves through Mayweather's extravagant empire. What pushed the story into the spotlight, however, was ESPN's Stephen A. Smith, who delivered a fiery and unfiltered response that resonated strongly with public sentiment.
I'll show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys.
I haven't seen these?
No.
Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drive.
Federal agents carried out a dramatic operation at Mayweather's luxurious Las Vegas property. Sources quickly confirmed that the search was linked to a broader federal probe into an intricate web of financial crimes involving cryptocurrency, bogus investment schemes, and shell corporations. These operations are allegedly connected to individuals within Mayweather's close professional circle.
Hey, what's up everybody? So check it out, this morning I was walking through Beverly Hills and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
Insider reports indicate that the FBI confiscated dozens of electronic devices, detailed financial logs, offshore account records, and even coded financial documents. Investigators are now focusing on a staggering $420 million, believed to be entangled in a large-scale fraud scheme that spans across various jurisdictions.
Into my lifestyle, showing people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over, check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
Mayweather has never shied away from showcasing his wealth. Private aircrafts, luxury cars, diamond-studded jewelry, and stacks of cash have long defined his brand. However, investigators now suspect that portions of this opulence may have been generated or maintained through illicit activities. Some of the seized paperwork allegedly shows that Mayweather either knowingly supported or was used as a figurehead for deceptive financial schemes that scammed thousands of investors, many from international markets.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1A is high. 18 life.
Happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
That is sick, dude.
But
Wow.
you gotta show them what it say.
Money green.
No,
Hold
sure.
on.
This
This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd "Money" Mayweather. 101 piece. That's
One of
bad.
one. One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
It's a one of one. I love that.
Stephen A. Smith has seen Mayweather's lavish lifestyle up close. His mansion, exotic vehicles, and private jets included. Smith has long acknowledged Floyd's financial discipline and the sheer scale of the fortune he amassed through hard work. This familiarity gives Smith a unique vantage point when discussing the boxer's business instincts and ability to monetize his fame over the years.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much. And literally walked in the ring and said, I'm gonna embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
What made Stephen A. Smith's emotional commentary even more powerful was his personal experience visiting Mayweather's home. In past interviews and shows, Smith described the estate as a symbol of personal success and a reflection of how far Mayweather had come thanks to his dedication and branding prowess. It was, in Smith's eyes, a tribute to the athlete's rise from humble beginnings to global superstardom.
Why? Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me
Yes.
are in excess of 15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3-1.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
Even after retiring from professional boxing, Mayweather shifted toward exhibition fights, most notably his bout against YouTube return boxer Logan Paul. Stephen A. Smith didn't mince words, condemning the match as lacking any real sporting value. For someone once at the pinnacle of boxing, Smith felt that such fights prioritized easy payouts over legacy, casting doubt on Mayweather's motivations and calling the spectacle a cash grab.
Boxers, if not the greatest boxer in history. He's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Absolutely.
When Floyd Mayweather was asked about Logan Paul's public claim of not being paid for their match, during an appearance on the Pivot podcast, he casually dismissed the concerns. He claimed to enjoy YouTube content and framed the situation as a delay in payment processing, rather than an intentional failure to pay. However, his response came off as evasive, as he seemed to minimize a potentially serious financial dispute with vague reassurances.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Shit, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while, And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn. Look how many years they've been owing us money. Well, we don't never trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Fresh reports have cast serious doubt on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s bold claim that he owns a $40 million real estate portfolio comprising 60 rental buildings in Upper Manhattan. Though Mayweather shared videos and social media posts asserting full ownership, saying in one Instagram clip, "These are all mine, no partners," and investigations suggest otherwise. Business Insider's review of public records shows no legal transfer of ownership for the properties, contradicting Mayweather's public narrative.
Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand, as a real estate person myself, what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these.
Mayweather has recently pushed back against speculation that his massive real estate venture had led to financial setbacks. He maintained that he independently acquired the 60 properties in Manhattan using his own funds. firmly stating that no partners or third parties were involved in the purchase.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm the transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright. In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
The property documents tell a different story. Business. Insider's examination suggests that Mayweather might only hold a small stake, possibly with rights to increase his investment later. This inconsistency has fueled concerns that either Mayweather wasn't fully transparent or may have been misinformed about the deal. Despite being one of boxing's highest-paid figures and a master of self-promotion, Mayweather reportedly encountered financial strain, including a $20 million tax debt from 2015, likely one reason for his continued participation in lucrative exhibition fights post-retirement.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Stephen A. Smith has remained outspoken about his discomfort with Mayweather's exhibition bouts following retirement, while he supported the match against Conor McGregor due to McGregor's background in combat sports. Smith strongly disapproved of fights against less competitive opponents. He argued that such events, seen as quick money grabs, could harm the integrity and reputation of Mayweather's undefeated boxing legacy.
Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match, all right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
In a straightforward interview, Smith pressed Mayweather on whether he still prioritized his legacy or had shifted toward maximizing earnings. Mayweather frequently referenced his business skills and financial wins in response, prompting Smith and many fans to believe that the former champion's mindset had pivoted more toward profit than protecting his storied career's legacy.
You made money. You're gonna make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But Fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you. Professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
Adding fuel to the ongoing debate, former UFC fighter turned commentator Chael Sonnen made a startling claim about the Mayweather versus McGregor fight. He alleged that despite its hype, the event wasn't as financially dominant as advertised. Sonnen stated that the venue featured empty seats disguised by well-dressed fillers to make the crowd appear sold out, an illusion reportedly staged by Mayweather's PR team.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box, when he said he's retired, why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
During another interview with Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather was once again asked whether his main concern was his legacy or accumulating wealth. Known globally for his money persona, Mayweather acknowledged making over $800 million throughout his career. However, he emphasized that his priority had always been financial security, suggesting he had already cemented his boxing status and was now focused on sustaining wealth outside the ring.
I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of $800 million.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
Well, we ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses.
Do Mayweather's exhibition fights elevate his brand or erode the prestige of his legacy? Is chasing big paydays after retirement a smart move or a step back for a boxing icon? Join the discussion and share your take in the comments. Where do you stand on the legacy versus money debate?